In the aftermath of his defeat, Salaga finds a moment of solace amidst the ruins of the battlefield. The taste of failure lingers, bitter on his tongue. But he refuses to succumb to despair. Instead, he directs his focus towards the future, his resolve resting on the venerable heir, Dula, and his brother. The mission at hand is far from over and now even pulses with a renewed sense of purpose. Salaga's defeat becomes a rallying cry, a call to arms for those who remain. Wait a minute. Brother? Who the Flicking his fingers and reopening the portal, the wizard admits that he's failed in his mission. So as a matter of principle, he's letting him go back out there with that Bulma woman. At the same time, Amaron is more reckless than himself. He'd better think twice about what he wants to do against him. But this demeanor, it really feels like there's more to Salaga than we've been led to believe. As the demon bows to signify his respect, Evgeny again removes himself from Pepino's body. He can't help but notice that he's changed a lot, which couldn't be more true. This being has been with Pepino since his childhood. However, it wasn't until this battle he's taken such a form and displayed such immense power and potential. Though there is still a war going on, they have to go free Miss Bulma now. Who celebrates he did it? She can't thank him enough. Returning to planet Sadala, looks like Salaga stayed true to his word and let them get back safely. But why wouldn't he just, send them to the Blender Dimension or something? Fennel wants to know what happened with that demon guy. Prompting the scientist to proudly boast Pepino vanquished him, while the Saiyans celebrate and congratulate him. Although this may be the case, is it really? He didn't seem to be mortally wounded or anything. Is he legitimately deserting his comrades he seems so aligned to, or is something else afoot? Either way, as the situation currently stands, this young man was able to stand up to a threat that not even Fennel herself, a Saiyan Admiral, could stand up to. Heck, she even had the help of Kaba and Khalifa and they still failed. She can't believe the hybrid is so formidable. While the Saiyans here seem to have respect for their Tuffle brothers, perhaps this is more eye-opening to Fennel herself to see the benefits of their technology firsthand. If Pepino, who is not remarkably powerful on his own, becomes the most powerful among them with Kibiya, imagine what the Saiyans could accomplish with the same tech. Bulma tells Pepino that they should join his mother and the other isolated inhabitants. She'll be safe there and the others will be able to take care of the rest here. On one hand, having someone as powerful as Pepino to defend the non-fighters isn't a bad idea. On the other, it's probably an infinitely better idea to have someone as powerful as him to help take care of the remaining two threats to the planet. What's a story without plot devices? Hopefully, Pepino's absence is only temporary and he'll still be able to contribute to the battle. Kaba wonders aloud how the others are doing, speaking of which. The biggest question on his mind is if Kale's managed to calm down Broly as he's having trouble sensing their ki. Leafla doesn't want to waste any more time. They should get back to her right now. In the luminous glow of his Zeusy glory, King Sadala stands resolute, a towering figure emanating power and majesty. His golden aura shimmers with electrifying energy, marking his transformation into a Super Saiyan as his bracers shatter from his forearms, almost symbolic of the mental shackles that previously held him back. The very essence of a Saiyan heritage courses through his veins. Before him, a formidable foe faces the wrath of the king's reclaimed might. Every detail of the transformation is vivid and intimate, from the vibrating energy that envelops him to the determination etched across his face. Of course, this just leads the villain to taunt, so what if he could change the color of his hair? Blonde might suit himself too. But in all reality, the king hates this feeling. So much so, he had banned it from his entire kingdom. Feels like he's being unable to finish this thought that clearly torments him. He knows he has to put it aside. The fiend chortles. Let's do away with these primitive, good-for-nothing people, causing Sadala to bark back at his arrogance. Believe him, Dula and his colleagues won't be the catalyst of this planet's downfall. When something hits the monster like a screeching siren. Where is Salaga? The bond between them seems to have broken. No, he must be mistaken. This is impossible. If that's really the case, that must mean he's been defeated. But by who? Surely none of these ridiculous Saiyans. The wizard using a portal to make the king punch himself. These things are becoming a real problem. At this rate, he could put himself out of business before his foe ever has the chance to.
Just the trick!
In the middle of the action, the king notices that his target's temperament and attitude have changed completely. What's going on? While Sadala is giving the invader all he's got, Dula himself is caught up in wondering the condition of his partner. Earlier, a dimension opened up and he felt their link gradually fade away. He doesn't understand. For us, this could signify the place Salaga sent Bulma off to is too far away for their link to remain intact. Again, we have to ask if this means he defected, or was in fact dealt a mortal wound of some kind. The king bellows that Dula's really missing out, but he's got responsibilities to fulfill, so if he doesn't want to face him, he's going to cut the fight short. Still in his own thoughts, if all of this adds up, then he would indeed be. Acting instinctively like this battle's boring him, Dula finally remarks that he doesn't think King Sadala understands that he's no longer his priority. But if he insists, and the speed. The way this mage moves is abnormal. Grabbing the Saiyan. He hisses that if Salaga really is what he thinks he is, he swears on his honor that he will take great pleasure in devouring every citizen on this bloody planet. It really does look like Dula's decided to take this fight more seriously. These portal tricks getting old. Sadala shouts if his adversary really doesn't think he's going to let himself. But he feels something horrific from the past. Holding him halfway through the portal, the mage scolds instead of acting tough by cauterizing his gut where he had that massive wound. He should make sure he doesn't get hit twice in the same place. Holding himself, Sadala thinks his foe is as well placed as himself to understand that this injury won't stop him. He will take down this demon and defend his people. And as the old saying goes, a blow for a blow. A sudden jolt fires through King Sadala as a blackened hand materializes, seizing him from the shadows. The grip is chillingly familiar, and an involuntary shudder encompasses his entire body. "Again!" he exclaims, horror stitched in his face. As the dark hand tightens its hold, a haunting realization floods his mind. The countless souls lost to the sinister force surge forward, manifesting as specters that swarm over Sadala. In the depths of his psyche, he confronts a debilitating truth. He recognizes each lost soul individually, the faces of those innocent lives snuffed out by the very power he sought to control. The failure of the broken promise presses down on him, and the guilt-ridden realization burrows through his mind. He swore to protect, yet the demonic power he once unleashed brought devastation to those he vowed to shield. The haunting screams intensify as Sadala faces the painful truth. The innocent, mothers, children, fellow proud warriors all lost because of him. The king can't take the guilt of all the casualties coming back to haunt him. He cries that he's aware of all of this and he's deeply sorry, but he has to move on. Falling out of Super Saiyan into his knees, Dula scoffs that he's supposed to be fit for a king. Sensing out Broly and Kale, the wizard states that other fat, green-haired soup maker has stopped raging at his mate, it seems. And doing a little digging, it's more likely what Dula meant to say was full of soup instead of soup maker, which would translate into him calling Broly bloated due to his overpowered buffness. Like saying someone's full of soup meaning they have a distended belly, which means they're bloated. You get it. Any which way, he's right. It looks like Broly has stopped literally inches away from striking a downed Kale. For the villain, all this means is there's one less threat for him to worry about. With any luck, he's tired himself out and won't be nearly as threatening as before. The Despite all the punishment she's taken, Kale continues to plead with the beast to calm down. As a tear falls from above and lands on her cheek. The wild beast has gone from screaming to crying. She utters that piece of trash deserves to pay for what he did to Chilai, but she insists Broly has already done enough damage. She pleads that she believes in him more than anyone else. Broly's eyes flicker, a glimmer of clarity cutting through the rage that had once consumed him. The chaotic battlefield on Sadala seems to have frozen for a heartbeat as he grapples with the echoes of his own fury. Her advice lingers, a fragile hope against the torrent of his own power. Broly stands at a fork, torn between his desire to protect and the fear of losing control once more. With Broly appearing to come back to his senses, has it come at the cost of Kale? Then we yet again have to ask what's become of Salaga in the other dimension. Many questions remain as our battle slowly but surely progresses.